Hey guys, welcome to an insane tutorial. My name is Jonathan Kamakina, and I'm so happy to do this tutorial on the behest actually request the request from someone that follows me on my page, my Facebook page. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, so the question was, how do you compress files in Java? Okay, so let's say you have a big file, then you want to compress it, or let's say you have text files. Okay, then you want to compress it to save some space. Okay, I like how you do it in Python because we use pickle. Okay, we pickle the file. All right, but in Java there's a class that's responsible for compression. Okay, so I'm gonna take you step by step. Okay, but for you to understand our concept of the same class that deals with files, I'm gonna start from the basics. Okay, I'm just gonna give you an example on how the whole file class handler class works. Then we can go to compress the file. Okay, so we'll start from scratch by saying Java project. Create a Java project. Okay, so I'm just gonna call this eLearn Java. Okay, then say press finish. In the same folder that you've just created, go to the source folder. Alright, then right click, then go to package. Okay, so let's say you want to put a brand awareness on the package that you're doing. Okay, let's say you have a brand like ours is Inzu. Okay, then just say Java eLearn. Okay, so this is just something that you can always make up yourself. Alright, so press up finish. Then next thing that you do is just create a class. Okay, then I'm just going to call this file create. Okay, this is going to be the main class. You should just tick this public static void main. Okay, then you press okay. So just get rid of these comments that are generated. Okay, that's why most people just prefer typing this. Okay, so in Java there's what you call parent classes. Parent classes are already inbuilt classes or already built classes that exist in the same program that you can refer to if you want to do a specific task. And in this, our task is to handle files. Okay, so we say import.java.io. So that's the parent class called an IO, and in there we're just going to handle some files. So we import file. Okay, and there's another class in the IO class, parent class, which is called IO exception. So this we just handle exceptions. Exceptions are just something that you can solve before runtime. Okay, and that's found in your program. Okay, you can catch those exceptions. They're different from errors because errors exist outside your program. You can always, if your program runs into an error, it's obviously the system error or the hardware error, the hardware error, or just memory. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is try catch. Okay, in the try catch we are going to we're gonna tell Java to try something out, and if that something works out, well and good. But if there's something that is supposed to be fixed, Java needs to tell us. Okay, so try catch. File creation, file creation, like that. So we're just going to say try. Okay, then catch. Okay, then IO exception E. Okay, then just say is out, then press Control space, then say an exception has been caught. Okay, and just print stack trace. Okay, then the first thing that we're gonna do is specify the file location. that we are creating, okay, if it exists. All right, so say file, okay, from the file class, then just say file create an object is equal to new file, okay, and in here we just give the specific path or where your file will exist, and for me I want to put it on the desktop. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to go to my C drive, okay, go to my local drive C, and go to the users and go to the admin, okay, and there's obviously desktop somewhere here, and click desktop, okay, then just click there, then copy the path and just come and paste it in here, okay, then backslashes, then the name of the file, so new file, okay, new file dot txt, okay. All right, so let's say your program starts running, all right, then it finds there's already a file that exists, okay. We need to check for that, okay. What if the file doesn't exist? All right, when we're telling Java that you need to find this file, okay, so what if that file doesn't exist? So we need to create that file. All right, so create file if file doesn't exist, okay. So to do that, we're gonna use a boolean, and just gonna call that create file is equal to the file, okay, which is just an object of file, okay. Then there's this class create new file, okay. Then we just check if the file exists. We should tell Java, or Java should output to us and saying the file already exists, okay. So create file, all right, then say just going to print out something on the screen and just say if create file is a go ahead, we should tell Java should tell us file has been created, okay. Else, if the file already exists, okay, if file already exists, Java should tell us file already exists, okay. System out, then just say file already exists, okay, and save that, okay. Then if we run this, we should have file has been created, and on my desktop I should have a file called new file there, okay. So I'm just going to put something there, because when we begin to compress the file, you see what I mean. I'm just going to say this file was created from Java using IO class, and just save that, okay. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is compress the same file, okay. So now in the same class, what you can do in the same package, actually, you just create another class, okay, and just say file compress, okay. Then since it's gonna be a main class as well, might as well just put this static void main, okay, then string and puts arguments, okay. All right, so here's another file that we need to do when we're dealing with files, okay, especially when we're dealing with text files, is what you call a buffer, okay. This is a buffer when you're dealing with files. This is what you call file input stream, okay. The file input stream just checks the location of the file that's being inputted, and there's the file output stream as well, okay. So the file output stream just checks creates the file it's going to be outputted, okay. All right, then there's the there's what you call the gzip. Okay, the gzip output stream. So the gzip output stream just outputs the compressed file. So for that we just need to import them. Okay, and they exist, the gzip exists in java.util. Okay, zip dot is it gzip? I think gzip output stream. Actually, these are all capital letters, I think. Yeah, gzip output stream. Then import java.io that IO exception. Okay, then import wait, java.io exception. Okay, then import java io.file input stream. Okay, so the file input stream just checks for the location of the file that you are compressing, or the input of the file that is bringing in the data. Okay, then import java.io.file outputs. Okay, because you need to output the file once it's being inputted. Okay, like you need somewhere to capture the file. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do now is since we're using this class to compress the file, we are going to initiate an object of this class. Okay, so we're just going to say file compress. Okay, then just say fcomp is equal to new file compress. Okay, so we're going to use this class to compress the file. Okay, but in the main method we are going to outsource another method. Okay, so public void, okay, create compressed file. Okay, and this file is going to compress the file. So what we can do is just call it in the main class. So fcomp create compressed file. Okay, so we're going to use this to compress the file. Alright, so when we're dealing with text, we should use bytes. Okay, and bytes array, and we're just gonna call this bytes as buffer, which is equal to new bytes. It's bytes actually, and the maximum I think is 1024. Okay, I think that's what Java puts. Okay, that's like commanding byte compression. So the next thing that we're gonna do is to try and catch, because we need to catch some exception if any exists. Okay, and the catch, we're gonna catch java io exception. Actually no, io exception and ioe. Okay, then we're just going to ioe that print structures. Okay, so inside here, first thing that we need to do is specify. Okay, specify the name and path of file. So for this we're gonna use the compressed file. Actually, specify the name and path uh, of the compressed file. So for this we're gonna use the gzip, okay, which is responsible for compressing the file. So we just say gzip output string, then we're just gonna call it gzap, okay, output, okay, which is equal to new gzip output string, and in here we're going to say new file input, actually new file output, because when the file is compressed, okay, when the file is compressed, we are going to need to output that file. So new file output stream, okay, then we're just going to provide the location, so it's going to go on the desktop, so I can just come here, same as I did before, just copy the file, copy the location, come back here and paste it in there. Then the name of the file is going to be new file.gz, okay, so this is going to be the compressed file. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do is specify the location of the file that we need to compress. Okay, so for this we use the file input stream, and I'm just gonna call this fs is equal to new file input stream, go to file input stream, okay, calculator there. So I'm gonna use the same location because that's where the file is, and the file that we're compressing is new file.txt. There you are. So new file.txt. Okay, save that. And after we save that, we are going to read from the file. Okay, after we read from the file, read from file, then write to the file to be compressed. Okay, so after we read from the file, we're going to get all the data that's being read from the file and drag it into the compressed file itself. Okay, so so what we do now is we say length, because we're gonna need to check the length of the data that's being read. Okay, then we're just going to say if length, okay, if the length is equal to fs, okay, read, okay, and what we're reading is from the bytes here, which is the buffer object greater than 0. We will need to write okay, sorry, let me just pause, I need to drink some water. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so after, if this length is if length, okay, is equal to fs, which is the file that's been like buffered, or we can just say or the file that's being read from is equal to fs. Okay, if the length is equal to the file that's being read, that read the buffer, okay, which is the maximum of that, which is the text file. Alright, let's write. Okay, so we're going to write to the gzip dot write. Okay, and here we're going to write the buffer. Okay, and equal it to 0, meaning everything has been written. Then here we equal it to the length. Okay, so after we write to the gzip, we need first to close the file that we read from. So fs dot close. Okay, then gp dot finish writing to the file. Then after you finish writing to the file, it's a must that you just close the file. Okay, then we're just going to tell ourselves the compressed file has been created. Okay, save that. So if our program doesn't have any errors, it should create a compressed file on the desktop. Okay, so moment of truth, let's try to run this. So the compressed file has been created. If we check, look at this new file here. So if we double click and check the file that exists there, okay, open with text file. Okay, so this is the file that was created from Java using IO class. I typed that so that you don't think like Java created a new file there and it's not the same file as the one that exists there. Okay, so let's say you have musical file, okay, and you want to compress it. You can do the same thing. What was that? Okay, you can do the same thing there. So the first thing that you do is the gzip output stream, make the name of the file that you would love to name it. Okay, you name it anything. Okay, let's say you name, let's say Chris Brown. Okay, Chris Brown. Alright, then here what you can do is, alright, let me copy a song. I should have a song somewhere. Yeah, I should have a song somewhere. Any song from Chris Brown. Music. Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this and paste it on desktop. Okay, then just rename it. Okay, to go. Alright, then if I go here and say okay, I need to check the extension of the file as well. Okay, so the properties and what's the extension of the file? It's an mp3. Okay, so let's do this. So this works. Okay, so go that mp3. I think bytes. Alright, I don't think this will work because the bytes are quite low, but let's try it. Alright, let's try it. If there's an exception, Java will tell me. Let's see. The file has been compressed. Okay, so if you go there, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Yep, I knew it. Okay, so I think there's another way to compress MP3 files and other files. But right now, I think this the program that I just showed you deal with. Yeah, actually, bug. I was doing with text, so I need buffer the file there. If there's something else, I think I need to use the API or input stream actually. Okay, instead of using the bytes there, I just need to input the file to stream. Okay, so in the next tutorial, I'm gonna show you how you compress music files. Alright, so this will work. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next tutorial.